Hey guys, I hope all is well with you. I know I promised to do a book talk with you yesterday, but was kind of trying to work on some things and it didn't work out. So basically, I came on to talk to you about Monday Isn't Coming. Um, if you have not already written and read anything by Tiffany D. Jackson, you're behind the times, okay? I will admit that the content um, is a bit mature. Even though I don't believe in censoring, I do believe in knowing what content is held in the book so you won't be surprised. So I know me personally, this is something I would not promote to my middle school kids. I would strongly encourage high school kids could read this. As far as the language and the cursing and whatnot, it's not as bad as allegedly, because allegedly it was an older character, and there are a few scenes, if you get what I'm saying. Nevertheless, is a great piece of literature, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned. So if you're comfortable with your girls reading this, let them read it. Guys can read this too if you want to. Monday's not coming. As far as Monday is like the main character, but she's not the main character. The book is told in Claudia's voice, who is Monday's best friend. And Claudia comes back from being with her grandmother all summer and notices that she hasn't heard from Monday all summer long. And when Monday doesn't show up for the first day of school, that's when all the red flags and the caution flags show up. So immediately she's asking her mom, have you heard from Monday? Have you seen Monday? Asking people, have they seen Monday? No one has seen Monday. So what Claudia ends up doing is she starts launching her own investigation, and she goes to Monday's house, which she's not allowed to go to even though she's 13. Monday lives in a very rough area. It's called the Ed Burrows, and she goes there anyway. She sees Monday's mom, Mrs. Charles, looks very disheveled, has an attitude, very nasty. Why are you even over here? You know your mom wouldn't let you come over here. And more like she thinks Claudia is being, stuck up and whatnot. And she said, well, where's Monday? Monday's not here. Monday's with her daddy. Okay. So, in the midst of all that, she gets different stories. Like she constantly runs into Monday's older sister. Where's April? Her name is April. And where's Monday? Oh, she's living with our aunt. Okay. So and honestly, I think I got the parts mixed up. But either way, when she goes to either the mother or April, she hears two different stories. So finally she goes to a teacher, her favorite teacher from last year, and the teacher immediately goes to the front office, says she hasn't been in school. So they said she's not enrolled at the school, and she doesn't understand why they're not enrolled. So then they keep investigating and keep wondering, where is Monday? Now in the midst of all this, Claudia is going through, because Monday is not only her best friend but her only friend. And you see a young lady who is struggling to be independent on her own. She's not trying. She has this bubble she calls, that keeps her safe and comfortable. But at the same time, Monday was a part of that. Like the reason why her grades have dropped, Claudia's grades are not as strong as they've been over the years that she's been in friendship with Monday, because Monday would pretty much do her homework for her. Like she'll write an essay and let Monday read it, and Monday's like, what? Oh my gosh, this is horrible. And Monday will write it for her. When they do reading assignments, now that's one part that Monday didn't but didn't do for her. She would read out loud anything that Claudia had to read. And Claudia does find out the reason why she struggles with her work. On top of all that, she's a beautiful dancer. Claudia actually got bumped up into the dance troupe, where she's in the #1 class in her dance class, and she's struggling to fit in with these girls. Claudia doesn't have a very high self-esteem, and the fact that she struggles with reading and writing, she thinks that cancels everything's beautiful about her. But she can dance. She's a beautiful young lady. She knows how to do nails, like top-notch designs and colors and hues. She understands all that. So but in the midst of all these struggles and transitioning to 8th grade, getting ready for high school, she ends up, the biggest question is, where's Monday? No one's listening to me. No one's trying to hear me. She even goes down to the police and say, I think my friend is missing. And the police really makes a mockery of her, makes her look stupid. Says, we don't have time to waste looking for someone who's not really missing, and she's just at her parents' house. That's pretty much I gave you enough to get you into the book. I'm not going to tell you what happened to Monday. Did they ever find Monday? What happened to Claudia? And one thing that I know is about the cover of the book, is money's not coming, money's not coming, money's not coming. It's centered around Claudia on this book. And pretty much Claudia goes through a mental breakdown. And I'm not going to tell you why. Yes, it's linked to Monday. So it's one of those things where she's very dependent on this person. And that leads me to the themes of the book that constantly come about. Like, you don't want to be so dependent on someone that you can't function because they're not around. Okay? Yes, we are going to miss people when they're there, and we want to know why they're not there. But Claudia, I remember, fell into a depression at one point, actually 2 times in the book, because she felt like, Monday's not here. I can't go out. I can't have fun. Like, even when she was having fun, she felt sorry that Monday was not there with her, and Claudia struggled with that. It deals with the fact of bullying, like the students in her class and her school. I had a problem, serious problem with them, because they teased Monday and Claudia, because they were and I don't understand, because everybody else was close friends. So they would tease them and call them lesbians. So they were sleeping with each other. Like, they were very inappropriate, and it bothered me. And it trips me out how Monday didn't come from the best circumstances. They wore uniforms, but you can tell what Monday didn't have a good weekend. We don't know. You find out in the book what happens. But before, Claudia didn't know what was going on. She just know Monday looked like she just slept in her uniform the whole weekend. It wasn't ironed. Her face was dirty. Lips were very chapped. She looked frazzled. She did look disheveled. And you don't know where she's coming from. So, and Monday is so hard wanted to fit in. Like, she did whatever she could to fit in, and people would pick on her because of that. Another thing it deals with is special ed. How the reality is, it's okay to have a disability. It's okay if you need extra help. Claudia hated it. When they finally figured out what was going on with her, she did not want anyone to know that she was taking special classes, that she was getting extra help. And the reality is, not everyone gets it at the same level as everyone else. And I hope if anybody's child is struggling with this will hear me and hear me clearly. It is nothing wrong if you need extra help. It is nothing wrong if you have to take an additional class. I cannot stand when people call people slow who are in special education or have a learning disability or whatever the case is. The reality is, you just need a little extra help to get you where you need to be. You're not on an equal playing ground, so we're just trying to get you there. And there's nothing wrong with that. So it's just a matter of, and then honestly, it's just you learn differently. That's what learning, LD, learn differently. You don't learn like everyone else. You have to have things broken down a certain way. Like, to help Claudia read, what kind of gives away what's wrong with her. But they put colored sheets over what she read, and then she said it helped her read better and improved her reading comprehension. Another thing that came up in the book is, like, we really, our society has to really do better when it comes to handling our people and caring for our people. In this book alone, you saw how the system failed Monday and her family. We call it DHEC down in South Carolina. Up there in the DC area, it was pretty much Child Protective Services, but they didn't call it CPS. They called it something else in the book. And pretty much they were called multiple times about complaints in Monday's home, and nothing. One time they were taken from the home. And if they had done a better diligence and would have done more to supervise, I think things wouldn't have happened the way they happened. So it really shows how we as teachers have to be diligent. Matter of fact, they changed it in our school district where it shouldn't be where we notice abuse or we think abuse is happening at home. I can't wait to go tell my counselor. I have to immediately report it to not DHEC, DSS. I just realized I said DHEC. I apologize for that. But DSS, I had to immediately call DSS. I can't wait for the counselor. I can't wait for the resource officer. I immediately have to call because they need to put into action immediately. We cannot wait. And the teacher admitted after the fact that she felt like she could have did more. She saw, but she did not speak on it. Like even one of the times that Claudia talked about how Monday came in and she didn't look well. I remember one time they saying she smelled like pee, and the teacher did, send her down to the health room so she could wash, and they gave her another set of clothes. But when it kept happening, I felt like she didn't really, it's like she didn't know how to handle it. Okay. So one thing, I can keep going on and on and on about my themes. The favorite scenes of the book, Claudia ends up having a little suitor, a guy. Of course, he plays it off. We just go to church, but he really did like her, and he ends up becoming a very close friend of her. His name is Michael, and they called him Mikey because he was really short and pudgy, or he was just really pudgy. Okay, and now she hadn't seen him in about a year or two, and he shot up. He's athletic. He plays football. He's really tall, and he's known, I wouldn't say the good old boy, but he's known as a gentleman. He's always speaking to people, always helping people. Every time he walks in the room, hey Michael, how you doing? Hey Michael. It's all about Michael. And he the mom introduces him to her and has him hanging out with her, and Claudia felt some type of way about it at first. And when the dad found out, he was like, I want you to introduce her to a friend, not a boyfriend. And he, to me, is helping her along this journey, helping her deal with Monday not being there and finding out the answers to Monday. And I just love how that relationship formed. Another thing that bothered me about the book, not bothered me, but I guess this is what I call what I call flabbergasting or favorite scenes of the book, but definitely her relationship with Michael was one of my favorite. I love the relationship she had with her father. I love the relationship she had with her mother, that if she felt like she needed to talk to them, she could. They were very upfront with her. The only thing that bothered me at first was when she brought up Monday missing to the mom, and the mom just kind of shoved it off. Then the mom was like, and I can't remember who the mom was talking to, but someone confronted the mom about, no, I think Claudia confronted the mom about, if you knew there was abuse, why didn't you say anything? And the mom said, it's not my business. You don't put your nose in people's business. And that was another thing that goes back to theme too. If you see something, say something. A lot of people after the fact kept saying, well, I would see things, but I didn't want to say anything. It's not my business. But harm was being done. And at first they were like, we're gonna mind our business. And then the mom, Claudia's mom, she got upset and realized, okay, something's not adding up, something's not right. So then she goes to the dad and she's like, I need you to go talk to Monday's dad. He knew Monday's dad. And dad didn't want to be bothered. That's their business. Let's stay out of it. And finally, the mom just goes off eventually and like, no, we need to, something's wrong. We need to contact the dad. And I just felt like more could have been done earlier to help out this situation. And I think I can keep going on and on and on, but I'm not trying to give you too much from the book. I want to say this is one of my favorite books. Is it my favorite book by Tiffany D. Jackson? I can't. I read all 3 books. I want to say she has another one. I can't remember. But you can't. The only thing I will say is Let Me Hear a Rhyme is funnier, even though it has the drama of you trying to find out what happened with the murder and you have the suspense. But it was funny, and that's why I like that one. I love Allegedly because it was just like Monday's Not Coming. It's mind-boggling. Monday's Not Coming, it has a darkness to it. There's some light definitely to it. It's not a complete dark novel like allegedly you just sitting there like you watching Snaps or an episode of Law and Order or Dateline. Monday's Not Coming is like a hint of Dateline and Snaps, but at the same time, there is some humor, there is some laughter, there is some light in this because of seeing how Claudia evolves, seeing how Claudia does well in the dance recital, seeing Claudia doing better with her work. I mean, all that is like glimmers of hope. Like this can work out the way we want it to, but there's some element of darkness in it, in the sense of the reality of abuse, the reality of bullying, the reality of neglect, and what it looks like and what it feels like. And it's crazy. So I mean, honestly, again, Tiffany D. Jackson, I hope I get the chance to meet her. She's on my greats of authors, and I just hope you really get a chance to read this and just have some conversations, and just hopefully it will inspire us to realize you just can't sit quiet. You have to speak up when you see something is wrong or you hear something is wrong. Happy reading.